Well, we're still having a fire drill here at Lesko Help because of our credit card processor decided they didn't like my haircut or my outfits or my loud voice or something. I mean, our members that are all wonderful credit ratings, so that's not the problem. So it must be something with me. And actually, they're yelling about how I over promise or something. I mean, I don't know. But what's in other people's mind? You can't control other people's minds, so you just have to move on. And I took it up a step or two, but these internet giants, just have control over your life. So that's why I always have a backup plan, a plan B. Don't put your, all your eggs in one basket kind of thing, particularly with these internet companies, because they're so bloody big. If they decide they don't like the smell of your underwear or whatever it is, and they cut you off, you got very little recourse. And that's why with government programs, you could always go up the ladder and complain, and then you're elected official. So that's why the private companies are immune to any oversight, it seems. So anyway, that's it. So we're playing catch up, but we're still giving out money. And I think we'll solve it somehow in a way or whatever, because the response we get from members is just wonderful. We don't have a lot of bad credit cards or anything that would say anything except me being obnoxious. And I understand. I know a lot of people like that are obnoxious, and there's nothing really wrong with them, but I just rather not spend time with them. But if to stop somebody's business like that is just amazing to me. But we all live to fight for that. That's the resilience. If you don't start, if you don't confront those kinds of things and take it on, then you're not going to build up resilience, because shit like that is going to happen every day. And it's going to keep happening to your life. That's what part of living is. It's not perfect. We want to make the life perfect, but you can't, and it ain't. So learn to live with chaos and disruption and all that kind of stuff. Look at the world now. Wow. Oh my God. But we're still giving out money in addition to showing people how to get government money. So I got a couple things I want to cover today. Is one that today's the last day, midnight tonight, for $20,000, $1,000 to spend on anything. We're giving out $20,000. No, 40. I'm sorry. What did I say? I think in the headline I have 20. This is what getting old is like. And that's right. If you don't accept that you're going to screw up a lot, man, you're just going to frustrate the hell out of yourself. So pick up your your toys and move on. That's all. So, okay, that's $40,000, not $20,000. So $40,000. I mean, that's either $500 or $1,000. Now we give out $75,000 every month. I mean, I still can't believe that this little schmuck from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, is able to do that. Man. That's just amazing to me. And so that's like $700,000 for the whole year. And this is like, we're into a year and a half of doing this stuff, and that's the proudest thing that I think we do. Plus, the second proudest thing we do, I feel, is everybody who's on there tries to help everybody else. And that's showing love for people, not any kind of negative feelings. You get enough of that for free. Why should you have to pay for that? So the members and all my staff, I mean, we try to do everything with love. And because I believe, at least at my age, maybe if you're 20, 30, 40, or even 50, you have different priorities. But now it is trying to grow my heart as much as I can. And that's as being as lovable to people, to love people as much. That's why every member now that we have, I mean, it's just, how can we show you we love you? Because we're going to fuck it up. We're going to screw up. And our service isn't perfect by any means. But we try as hard as we can with the limitations. And mainly it's because the government's so goddamn big. So it's hard to, to wrestle 5,000 or 200 million cats. And that's what we're trying to do. The other thing is, don't forget about the grant tonight. It's very easy if you're a member, and it's for members only. And you just fill out, how would you spend $1,000? That's the question. One line, and bim bam, thank you ma'am, you're in the pot. And we have another one, that's on the 4th of every month we have that. On the 15th of the month, we have car repair. So we give out $500, $15,000 on the 15th of November to help people with car repair. On the 20th of the month, we give out $20,000 for people to pay rent, utilities, and mortgage stuff. So that's it. And then on the 30th of the month, we give out 25 free laptop computers, okay? So there are giveaways every month. Oh, I know, I want to see the chats. I really do this live, really for Lesko Help members to answer their questions live. And now we have actually members that are also answering questions live. Oh, Charity, how did things go last night, Tammy? The video. I think somebody sent me a copy to see that video, and I will. But in the chat, I want to put a couple of things that I found recently that you may be interested in. Here, I'm going to put it in the chat. It went great. Oh, thank you. That's I just want to do that so much. And we're going to have, the thing I'm doing here now, the live feed like this on the everything. We're upping that to, we only had 50 hours a month, and now we're going to get 70 hours a month. But I want to use the Zoom also to have them both and see which one works better, or how is it for different kind of people. So we want to do this in both places, okay? To have members share their experience and ask questions, because I think other members can get more answers from questions from members than they can from us. And also, it's to give members and other people who want to do this as a chance for them to show their heart and to help other people. And that's what's important, I think. Speaking of helping other people, my wife is about to go on an operation for eye operation, and her eyes have been bad for a long time. She still thinks I'm handsome, so that's a clue. But she found something. She's looking for all these assistance people, and she won't be blind, but it's just getting worse and worse. And she hopes it's a pretty sensitive operation she's going into next month, and she'll have to lay on her stomach for like 4 weeks because she can't put the pressure on the back of her head. So that's going to be interesting. But she came up with this link I think is wonderful. Okay, anybody you know who has vision problems, it is, I put it in here, or in my list of links I put in here, is, for your eyes, for my eyes, no, not for eyes, BeMyEyes, BeMyEyes, BeMyEyes. Go, it's an app. I don't know if it's on your PC or not, but it's for your phone. And what you do is you take that. They got 500 million volunteers. Yeah, okay, these are volunteers. You take your iPhone or your whatever kind of phone you think, love seeing you doing your thing. I remember your commercials. Yes, no more commercials. They don't work anymore. I would do them when they work, but they don't work anymore. So you take your phone, point the camera, and they tell you, they tell you what it is there. So you want them to read a document. They'll read the document for you, whatever. And she was just telling me that, like, in the last, during Valentine's, they had like 600,000 people that used it for free, and everybody's volunteered. And then they had she showed me the video of the volunteers, why they're doing it. And one is like an eye doctor and all that kind of stuff. And they say how wonderful it is to help other people, and that's one thing. So just to see those people talk about, they don't need to do this. They all look pretty well to do. I don't know why, I couldn't really tell. But it's, you know, they want some street person trying to make a buck, mainly because it's free. They don't get any money for it. But how they're able to volunteer. And see, that's what I sort of think. Okay, if you have that power, and you do, because I'll show you where the answers are. If you can answer somebody's question, to help other people find these things. Because they, oh shit, I've been waiting for 50 years, the government, to do this. You know, and so I figure, oh, I guess I have to do it yourself because I'm running out of sand in the iron. What are you, the hourglass? That's what it is. And so I have to do this somehow. And if we could encourage people to help each other, then you don't need me. You know, and no one person is important in this world. And to show people that anybody could do this, you know, and that's what, you know, like help people to see. I mean, wow, how can you change a life? Wow, what could be more? I mean, somebody, you know, you're sitting there, you know, thinking of my wife who may not be able to see soon or whatever, how long that takes, and wow, I mean, she becomes more lovable every second because of that. That I got someone just to love so hard. Yeah, and it's just a great opportunity to love. Wow, and that's why, you know, on Lesko Help, if, you know, yeah, volunteer and let us show you how to help other people, because they all need it. We all need attention. We all need that love. We all need caring, and because capitalism encourages that you don't give a shit as long as they have money, you know, and that's okay. We all have to feed ourselves, and that's important to do. But helping is more important. After you feed yourself, first take care of you first, okay? And that's the important thing to do. But that's just wonderful. I mean, you look at that and look at the people, how they say how important it is to them to do it. That's why giving to me is very selfish. This is why I give so much. This is why we give, you know, $75,000 a month. I never thought I'd have that, tell you the truth. And it's only because of you. Because you paid $20. I thought I'd be scraping, you know, doing dumpster diving by only charging $20. And that's what all the so-called marketing experts told me. You got to charge $200, you know, $2,000, all this kind of stuff. I just don't want to be that guy, you know, and I want to be the guy who helps. And sure, I got to pay for my bills and have other people help me do this. And so I want to do it for $20. And goddamn, it happened. I can't believe it. I have an appointment to get my taxes done for the last 2 years using the tools you provided. Lisa, see? Thank you, baby. Thank you, Lisa. I mean, that's it. H&R Block and all these people, they're going to get hundreds and hundreds of dollars from you. Here's another thing. A study in the links that I sent, you know, besides BeMyEyes, is that it? BeMyEyes, yeah. Besides that, there's a story. I gave you a link to a story on teenagers are being trained to fill out your taxes. And that's why you have all these people that are trained to fill out your taxes for free. I took the course years and years ago when I wrote a tax book, and then I took H&R Block's course. They gave the same bloody course, charge for it, charge you for a book that was a copy from the free book you could get from the IRS. Man, now that hurts me. So also in the link, not only do you find the link about teenagers doing this, it shows you, number one, how to get free tax help online for 12 states. The government is trying to clamp down on TurboTax and H&R Block because they think it should be done for free too. And so they had a deal with TurboTax, and they broke their deal. So, and the deal was that the IRS wouldn't do personal taxes. So after the TurboTax screwed over the government. They said, screw it, we're going to do it now. You don't play nicely. So that tells you about what states they're in. Then here is another place, how to make an appointment with, you call them, always go to the government who gives out the money or is in charge. You're going to a middleman, that's person who's interpreting or whatever. You want to get, the horse's mouth on, are you eligible or not? Who makes the final decision? The people giving out the money. So you talk to them first in their government, and you have access to it because you live here, okay? And so we all have the same access. It doesn't work that way sometimes, but in theory, that's it. And you may have to work on hold, be on hold for a while. Okay, so make an appointment with a local free tax expert at the IRS. Go to irs.gov/app, APP, and then office-locator. And all these links are in the description I have on Lesko Help too, okay? Now here, tax relief because times are tough, okay? You can't pay your taxes. Times are tough. You lost your job, you COVID, all this kind of stuff. They have a special program for that. And it's at taxpayeradvocate.irs.gov. taxpayeradvocate.irs.gov, okay? taxpayeradvocate.irs.gov, okay? Now, here, only pay 10% of your taxes, okay? That's right. They have programs there. Don't hire an attorney, an accountant. They're going to take a lot of this money that you could go into your pocket. And that's called Offer in Compromise. And that's at irs.gov/payments. irs.gov/payments. And then /offer-in-compromise. So that's irs.gov/payments/offer, OFFER, -compromise. All these links are in the chat portion on Lesko Help too, okay? So that's, now here's another thing about the IRS. Listen, thousands of millionaires haven't paid taxes for years and years. You know why? Because the Congress been cutting the IRS budget to go after these people who don't pay taxes. So they didn't have any money to do that. And the last Congress finally put some money in the pockets of IRS to go after all the people who don't pay taxes, particularly the rich people. So they're going after people making $400,000 or more. And I have a link to this story. You want to know about it. But more importantly, in that story tells you how 1 million people are not paying taxes and the government owes you money. You hear that? The government owes you money because a lot of grants are given through the tax system. That's why, that's where most of the rich people get their grant money from the government, is through the tax system. It comes out of the same pot of taxpayer money that we're given to rich people because they have some special benefit for them out of the taxes. So for lower income people, they don't pay taxes to do that. But these benefits, there's some benefits that you don't have to pay taxes, but you have to apply with the tax form to get it. 1 million people aren't doing that. So that's at least a couple $1,000s per person. Because that's a lot of that is the earned income tax credit that people aren't applying for. And that's money in your pocket in the system or whatever. That's why I see a lot of states have the same thing. They have an earned income tax credit. Another tax credit that can be used by low income people who don't pay taxes, and that's it. So you make 14 grand or something like that and you don't have to pay taxes. But if you do, you can get a couple grand, and that's what's important. That's what you have to know about. Because it's out there for all of us, okay? And also in time, and if you're watching this on YouTube, the last video I put up was my step-by-step process for getting money and help to start a business. Any kind of business, nonprofit, what do you call it? Invention, or just want to work at home. You want to freelance work at home. You want to be a gig economy. There is so much free help for you. Do not go and Google and try to get free help. This takes you through the step-by-step, and it goes along with what do we call it? Lesko Meta Grant Report. Jesus, what am I going to be like in 5 more years? Lesko Meta Grant Report. Oh, my wife found another app that's for blind people. You point the camera at a person, and they tell you what they're like. She pointed at me and told me I was a 71-year-old man with gray hair. So made me feel good. I'm 80. It dropped 10 years on me. But you know, it's so many tools out there. That's why I want you guys to try Chat GPT or one of those AI things. This is stuff that can really change. You may not find it useful now, but you will someday, because it's going to be more and more. And the more you start using it now to see its potential, even though you can't make money at it now because you don't see a connection, you will. And you'll see, because somebody else will do it. And they'll see a connection, you know, and make it for it. Like here, now, if you go to item number 5 in the Lesko Meta Grant Report, you'll see I just put the video that's on YouTube now of takes you step by step through the Lesko Mini Grant Report on how to use it to get money and help to start any business. And you could start it without any money. I really believe that you don't need money to start a business. Just that Google and everybody else put that in your mind. Now you have to shake that out. Like I drop so much shit out of my mind every day in the back of this chair. It gets piled up high, you know? and it's good. And I have to do that because I'm relying on old stuff that doesn't work anymore. You have to rely on new stuff that works. And that's why I always keep looking, always keep trying to figure out what's out there that I could use. Those things are not going to come to you. You have to bang on them to make them, to understand them and use them. Okay, and that's why, like I say, boy, are you ready to make 20 phone calls to get $1,000? Because that's what it may take. Sure, you may make one and you get lucky, but probably not. So you have to be ready to do that. And that's why if you're not, then you're going to make an attempt, and it won't be good, and you're going to give up, and oh, God damn it, I knew Lesko was too crazy to be right. And I'm crazy because I want to get your attention to understand what's going on and what I see that is so important. And sure, it's all very biased. We're all biased about everything. And so you have to take it for what it's worth to you, not what it's worth to me. And that's why the only way you're going to do that is to see. And that's why you have to, if you don't have an option, if you have another way to do this and another way to get money, do it. But what the hell is a few hours on the phone? You know, that you can really take a giant step for mankind. One small step for man and one giant step for mankind. That was back in the 70s, right? Remember that sucker landed up there? Yeah, that seemed like Mars. It was. Oh, it was the moon. Then why didn't they get them without making? I said, well, if there was, you wouldn't need the phone calls now, would you? Hey, the real answer is maybe, but you have to go through that. See, what I tell you about that is because it may happen. See, and so otherwise, if you want it in one phone call and 2 phone calls, you could stop. But I'm telling you, you're going to cut out a lot of your chances to get it. Anybody, like I'm trying to get a replacement for the credit card people that, I'll be out of business, on the 7th because these people just said, oh, you can't do this anymore. What? I've been there 10 years. Yeah. And my wife wakes up morning, I'm getting a divorce. Whoa. What's going on here? So, I mean, Carter, who works with me on this, is a sweet guy, and we've been 24/7 making hundreds of phone calls trying to solve this problem. I know it will only be solved if we're ready to do that. And if we're not ready to do that, we won't solve the problem. And we'll have to go do something else. No, I want to do this. I want to do this because this is what I'm best at. This is what I could give the most to, for the most of myself to the rest of the world. And that's what we have a responsibility to do, I think, is how to give the best we have to other people in the world. and make a living at it is the nice point. But it really, I'm sorry, we've been over a week now, 24/7, just fire drill every day. That's why you haven't seen me online much or whatever, because it's doing that instead of this. And now I see, and talking to you guys, I'm getting some other messages. People call me back and what. It's a pain in the ass, yes. But life is a pain in the ass unless you want to do nothing. And it's no fun doing nothing. So let us help each other do stuff, okay? Because that's fun. Okay. Okay, thank you so much for putting up with me. Sorry, I'm so excited about this. It's to me, I love living this way with passion and getting the most out of every day and giving the most. That's where you get the most. You got to give the most. You can't expect everybody to give you the most when you're at half speed. Okay. Well, you've made me, in the last 2 years, you've taught me how to love more and love better. And that's because of you guys, because it just, when I see, I mean, there's a couple hundred people now and on this, and this, boy, it just amazes me I could talk like this. And I will, and I'm going to talk more like this because this feels the best. So thank you. Take care.